What's up, guys? Hey. What are you doing? The sheep-boys are going crazy. The sheep-boys are going crazy. What's up, guys? It's Kictor, and I'm so cozy. Remember yesterday I asked who was cold? It's me. I am the cold one today. Oh, the Wizard of Moss. I am very curious of what your thoughts on Missville are. Stitch is almost done reading it as well. I did not know that it contained very, very heavy themes. I did not know that. Sheba going crazy, kicked her dressed as a cat. Yeah, oh my god, the Shebas, they're not good with cats. Oh my gosh. Sumo says hi. Hi, Sumo! How is everybody doing? Today, also, Ballad of Sword and Wine. Oh my gosh, you can barely see my eyeballs. Now I look bald. Ballad of Sword and Wine, Volume 6, I think, came out today. It is so good. Very heavy but easy to read. Okay. Good to hear. Nats just says, finished Guardian Volume 1 today and loved it. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, Guardian's a good one. It does, has anybody read, like, all of Mistakenly Saving the Villain in the chat? Don't tell me any spoilers, but I'm just curious about, like, how long it is. Oh no, Quinn! I'm sorry that you're suffering today. Oh, Sugar Kiss got her hardcover TGCF Volume 1. Very nice! Oh, hell yeah, I love the hardcovers. The hardcovers are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Today, Stitch and I, we picked up a skirt for our Christmas tree. Our Christmas tree's a girl. What else did we do? Oh, we picked up, is Phalites in the chat? We picked up some volumes of the DVDs for X, which is, does anyone know that series? It's like, why is it escaping me? If you know, you know. It's like, clamp stuff, you know, very, BL adjacent. At the, like, used video game store. Oh, 7C says Miss will be 4 volumes. Okay. Hey, boy trees can wear skirts. Hell yeah, they can. Archery is a girl, though. X 1999. Yes. Oh, Missville is like 3 volumes, but 7C's made it 4 volumes. Oh, okay. It's 4 volumes for the English translation. Okay. Cool. Wizard of Moss says, I also wear tree skirts. That's amazing. Ours is white with a little black dog on it. Yeah, TMP Tina knows what I'm talking about. CSCL says, huge fan of Clamp. Great taste. Yes. They are actually gifts for a friend, but Stitch has, like, read. Stitch has read it all. Stitch has actually read everything in the whole world. Stitch and I also have been playing a lot of Mario Party lately. I have the newest one for Switch, and then last night we played All Stars, which is great. Very good. Wizard of Moss says, after Christmas tree skirts go on sale, I snatch them for capes. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, actually wearing a Christmas tree skirt as a skirt or a cape. That's fucking cool. This is our first year with a Christmas tree skirt, so feeling pretty fancy, if I do say so myself. Also, today I finished editing the Scumvillain video explaining the new reaction. I'm just waiting for the sponsorship in it to get approved, which is very exciting. Annika says, I'm in case file hell. Just finished volume 2 and yikes. Can't believe Hush, Shay, are endgame. Yep. Isn't that hilarious? I feel like it really gets to a point where you're like, how can you even ship this? But it's good. It's very good. Our Amy the Lizard said, I'm debating ordering the special edition of Thrice Married to Salted Fish. Stitch loved Thrice Married to Salted Fish so far. Um, oh, for the bonus stuff. Well, the bonus stuff is nice. It is nice, but I understand that they are expensive. Hey, Bee-Boop, how's it going? How are you doing today? Sienna says, I used to wear the family tree skirt as an actual skirt. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is so common. I did not grow up as a child that enjoyed wearing skirts, so maybe I missed out on this. Now, though, don't mind a skirt or two. What is your native language, V? That's so exciting, finding Danmei books translated on that. That's wicked. That one chick says, guess who finished Yuri on Ice? Oh, very exciting. Oh my goodness. What a great time to watch it, especially since it was Yuri's birthday the other day. So exciting. Rose Linda says, gosh, it's been months since I managed to catch one of these live. Well, welcome. Enjoy. We're having a very cozy time. And then we're going to dive into a not very cozy book. Except, I mean, nothing too crazy must happen now, right? Like, we're in quite the falling action of wrapping everything up, right? Ooh, Mattache got the first volume of Arha. Very exciting, very exciting. I'm not sick, but I keep coughing. It's like it's like I'm choking on the dry air. Orion's Belt says, I don't think too much else crazy happens unless I repressed it. Yeah. Yeah, dry air. I can just hear Stitch in the other room going, stop, to the Shibas. I'm sure they're like bugging her because she is sewing and stuff right now in her little sewing room, and they love her so much. They love everything that she's doing, just like me. But I was gonna say Stitch doesn't tell me stop, but sometimes she does. There may be censored reading tonight. Not sure where in the chapter it happens. Oh, how okay, how exciting. I'm excited. I know you guys are fans of my censored reading, you know. I pride myself in doing a good job, a good faithful job. Naj, oh my god, thank you so much, Naj, for such a nice donation. That's huge. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Naj. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Naj says, since you said you didn't know Zhang Chung sacrificed himself to the Wens for Wei Wuxian, it might be a time for a Donghua rewatch. Yeah, I really want to rewatch the Donghua. I'd like to react to the Donghua, honestly. That reveal is absolutely heartbreaking, with Zhang Chung with his hair down. The show had its problems, but moments like that make it worth it. I watched the Donghua in a fever dream, man. I do not remember it at all. So yeah, I really, really want to. I remember like the scene where you find out Zhang Chung, like Wei Wuxian's golden core and all that stuff. His hair is down because doesn't like Lan Wangji knock his little hairpiece down? Very, very intrigued for sure. The little apple trauma is in here somewhere. Oh yeah, I guess. Wait, yeah, like, do they bang for real in the actual story, or does that happen in the extras? Oh, in the story. On the side of the road. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's crazy. I hope we get to that today. Damn. In the last chapter. Are we on the last chapter? Are we on the second to last chapter? Kate says, by the way, I went back and watched the last stream. Kate, oh my god, I cannot believe you did that. I was genuinely upset, not like upset, that you missed the Xiao part. And I was like, you know when you like connect with someone and you want them to like to be into the thing you're into? It was just like, no, you missed it. That was your chance. And then I thought like, oh, she won't go back and watch it. It's like, it's so much. And you actually did. Oh my god, Kate, I can't believe you. That is so awesome. Oh, I'm glad you watched it. Yeah, Xiao is so gay in canon, man. It's sad. It's upsetting. But I love it. Oh, I love it. Kate says, I did it for you. I did it for you, Father, for all of us. No, Loki. CSCL, thank you for donating with the recap. Recap. Lan Qichen tricked into stabbing Jing Guangyao. Jing Guangyao and Niming Dui sealed away together. Ni Huaisang revealed as the second mastermind. +1 hat. Oh, fuck, because he took Jiggy's hat. Oh. He literally said, I'll be taking that. I don't think I have any Ni Huaisang dolls or figures. He never was really too memorable to me. I mean, you know, he's the whole mastermind and everything, but I feel like I didn't like his design in the Donghua. You know? It's like he could be a little cute little evil murder twink, but they kind of just make him like he's, I don't want to say ugly, but you know what I mean? He was not serving. Longwon and Wei Wuxian quietly slip away. Zheng Cheng keeps a secret. Yes, and that was that he didn't go back for their parents' bodies. He actually was luring the ones away from Wei Wuxian. Oh, that was crazy. And then, yes, right after the stream, I went and told Stitch all about that. And we had a great conversation. It was great. Quinn says, do the pups go crazy if they smell something from a cat home? Almost ready to send Christmas gift. I don't think so. They're pretty chill. They're pretty chill, so don't worry. Crimson Queen says, I think I read somewhere that MXTX said in an interview that Lan Qichen eventually came out of seclusion and marries and had children. Lavender marriage? This woman better be Jing Guangyao reincarnated. If she has dimples, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Sure, he can get married and have kids, but if his wife has dimples... Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I think I see Briarbox. Briarbox! If you don't hear from me after this, it's because I became a snowman in the hospital basement. Oh! The maintenance people banned our heaters, so it's so freaking cold it's not even fair. What? Dude, that's awful. I wish I could give you this big cozy. Oh my god, being cold is the worst. I am so sorry that you're so cold. That's so awful, and they won't let you have the heaters? That's crazy. Did Stitch remember that part? No, she didn't remember it either. It's so funny. Stitch read these books so long ago. Like, she is a OG reader. It could blow the circuits out. It's like, well, that's like a reasonable fear. It's like, everybody is cold. I will set the place on fire. Ooh, Allison Greaves says, watching this and packing up all my Miku figurines. Nice! We just got the Miku bobblehead in our Yume Twins box. Beboop says, BRB, I'm gonna go get some snacks. See ya, chat. Ooh, very nice. I just had an incredible snack. Little tortilla, little cheese, roll it up, dip in salsa. Oh, divine. Divine. Also today, I think I poured my first best latte heart. I think I did pretty good today. Meridia says the whole point of him being a wallflower fits with his character arc, to be honest. Who are you talking about? I don't remember who we were talking about. Lan Qichen? Or Jing Guangyao? Or no, Ni Huaisang. Yeah. He's just in the background. He's not supposed to stand out. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god, Tina is making a quesadilla right now. Quesadilla twins, dude. I fucking love quesadillas. Oh, so good. Agent Fox says Lan Chen got married to a woman because he could never look at another man the way he looked at Jiggy. Oh, yeah. I feel like he would have pressure from like Lan Qiren of being like, well, someone has to make heirs, and it's not gonna be Wang Xin over there, so you have to. He's like, no. Yeah, Wizard of Moss. We said that at the same time. That's so funny. CSCL. And Ni Huai Sung is so forgettable. Wait, who are we talking about? Yeah, literally. I think I saw Night Owl says, "Am I being summoned for Ni Huai Sung merch?" Oh my god, it's your chance. It's your chance to make him cute. Stitch is making a meat bun right now. We got the worst meat buns in the world from Walmart. They are awful. They are something that Shailian would be eating for sure. We're very lucky that we have a T&T, which is like an Asian grocery store, and like all the shit there is good, but the Walmart brand meat buns, not good. Night Owl says, I already figured out the fan design. Ah, very nice, very nice. Meanwhile, Wei Wuxian trying to figure out a way to become pregnant. Yes. There's a little Shiba in here. The Walmart meat buns can't even write Danmei. Yeah, nice. That's a good one. Is Ni Huai Sung shipped with anyone? People ship him with Jung Chung sometimes. I don't think they even interact. But that does not mean anything. You can ship anyone with anything. I think that, like, the era when they were all kids at, like, the LAN daycare thing is, like, great for anything can happen. All the characters can interact and hijinks can ensue, you know? Well, I mean, he hung out with Wei Wuxian a lot and it's like, Wei Xiong, you know? That's more memorable. Wang Xin would be the Danmei equivalent of 19 kids and counting. Yeah. They were in the same social circle, yes. People ship Ni Huai Sung with Mo Shen Yu. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because, you know, it's like, were they working together or did Ni Huai Sung actually just manipulate him? Ooh, it would be funny and messed up to ship Ni Huai Sung and Lan Qichen. Oh god. That's a lot. I know. Lan Qichen would just be so upset though. And some weird crazy trauma bonding thing. He also called Jung Chung Jung Shang. Okay. Oh my god. Jung Chung and Lan Qichen is also a very popular ship. And they don't interact a lot, but they are a classic pair the spares type of situation, you know? And I can appreciate it for that, but I just... The emotional weight of Lan Qichen and Jing Guangyao is so much more overpowering to me. Agent Fox says, would Lan Qichen be that upset? I mean, we see the type of stuff Lan Qichen excuses when he likes someone. Oh my gosh. That is funny. That is funny. The Jung clan boys getting their lands. Yeah, it's like a happy ending, like if they can all hang out together kind of thing. It's kind of like, well, if you wanted to force them together to be in a situation like that, like, why wouldn't it work? Like, Jung Chung is hot-tempered and Lan Qichen is not, so they could work together that way, you know? Oh my god. Quinn says, sorry for being random, but in Where Winds Meet, there is a part where you play a flute to manipulate some zombies. That's amazing. You can also turn into a dog too, right? I've been seeing so many Danmei overlaps with that game. It's really cool. Annika says, I have such a soft spot for Jung Chung and Lan Chi-chen. Tell me your favorite, like, little dynamic or, like, thing with them that you really like. Doesn't Lan Chi-chen kind of fit Jung Chung's list of requirements for women? I feel like I've seen jokes about that and also Jin Guangyao, but the one thing that Jung Chung says that he values in a woman is her being, like, thrifty, right? And I'm like, both those clans are super fucking rich and like spend their money at will, right? I guess we don't really see Lan Chi-chen spending his money. Maybe he doesn't ever spend his money. Is anyone gonna go see the Jujutsu Kaisen movie that comes out this week? Also, there's this other anime movie, like something egg. Anime movie egg. Angel's Egg. Is anyone gonna go see that? Because it's Japanese animated experimental post-apocalyptic science fantasy film that they're re-releasing in theaters or something like that. From 1985. It looks fucking crazy. Yeah, it's like the 4K remaster for theatrical release or whatever. Is there dual cultivation in the game? No way. Is there dual cultivation in Where Winds Meet? Jung Chung and Nihoi Sung are like the judgy wine ants. Yes. There is! What does it look like? Dual cultivation in Where Winds Meet. Is there dual cultivation in the game? I read about a sect that allows you to do polygamy. Can we get stronger together with the Jade Beauties in this game? I would love to see a 1v7 dual cultivation / sarcastic. Brother, I suggest you go to dual yang cultivation sect to calm your Dao heart. There is a sect that allows you to marry up to 6 people. What? This is hilarious. Okay, Kate. Oh, you sit on the ground, hands pressed together. I wish it was gayer. That's funny. Bellawin says, I have seen the Jujutsu Kaisen movie, and most of it is the recap of the Shibuya arc and maybe the first 2 episodes of season 2. Oh, yes. Is there anything new? Or is it just fully recap movie? Ooh, kickflip guild and Where Winds Meet. That's cute. If only you could kickflip on your sword. Leo Stitch is currently reading Missville, and we were talking about the very, 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 very heavy themes in it and how it's very serious and heavy. You can kickflip! Shut up. That's amazing. Thank you for donating as well, Etiquette. And Tina, or Tiny Fiend, thank you for joining my membership. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's so nice of you. Leo, wait, was it Leo I was talking about? Yeah, Leo, have you read all of Missville or just the first English one? And we can get to reading as well. Leo says, I've read all of it. Okay, okay. Would you say that, like, does the tone drastically change in, like, the other volumes or anything like that? Is it like a you just gotta keep reading kind of thing? It's the execution arc when Yuta is hunting Yuji for sport. Ah. Tina Fiend says, hi, I can finally join. I've been watching your videos for a while and loving the live streams. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. I'm glad you've been enjoying the live streams. Shadow Dancer says, guess who landed number 3 on my YouTube rewind? You. Oh, is the rewind out? Oh my god, 3rd place? That's so awesome. Thank you for watching me so much. I am watching you as well. That's awesome. Thank you for telling me. That's so exciting. I wonder what mine would be. Mine is also me. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 comes out? I really liked the first movie, actually. I would love to watch the second one. I haven't seen a trailer for it or anything. I'm not really in, like, the fandom for that at all. But I really liked the movie. Black and Green Tea says, I can do you one better. Kicked her with my #1 channel on mine. Oh my god! Oh, stop! That's so cute! I want to see that. Oh my god, is there like a screenshot of her or something? I want to see. That's so awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I feel so freaking honored. That's so cool. Sherida Turn 8405. Yes, we have seen all of the Apothecary Diaries, and Stitch has read the novels. I think she's only like one novel behind of caught up in the English translation. Kate says my #1 is probably going to be Kicked or the guy who hates hiking. That's funny. Okay, shall we dive in? Leo says it definitely gets a bit easier to read as the story goes on, but it's pretty angsty for most of the book. It does have a very happy ending though. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, something that Stitch and I were talking about was just like making a video about something with like such heavy themes, and like we do make a lot of jokes in our Danmei book club and stuff like that, and so we were just kind of like, when it's very serious and present with a character, to like take it seriously, you know? So, yeah. Okay. Chapter 23, Wangshin, Forgetting Envy. The sky had yet to lighten, and all was quiet on the long street. The only thing Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji could hear was the soft clip-clopping of the little spotted donkey's hooves. Riding on the beast's back, Wei Wuxian patted its behind. The saddlebag was hard and stuffed full of apples that the Land Juniors had probably packed specifically for the donkey. As he stared at Lan Wangji's attractive profile, Wei Wuxian fished an apple from the bag and raised it to his mouth. Crunch. The bite was unusually crisp. When Little Apple saw its apple so brazenly stolen, it angrily blew a heavy breath from its nostrils and kicked backward. Wei Wuxian, who had no time for that, slapped its behind a few more times before shoving the rest of the unfinished apple in its mouth. Lan Zhan, did you know? Apparently, Sisa was a friend of Jing Guanyao's mother. I did not, Lan Wangji replied. Wei Wuxian didn't know whether to laugh or cry at the response. That was a rhetorical question. I saw it during my session of empathy with that vengeful female spirit back at the Guanyin Temple. Sisa took good care of the two of them back then, both mother and son. After a brief silence, Lan Wangji said, surely that is why Jing Guanyao let her live. Probably, Wei Wuxian agreed. I was afraid Zewu Jun would get soft-hearted again, so I didn't tell him the reason Jing Guanyao spared her. I don't think now is a good time to tell him either. Should he inquire in the future, I will inform him, Lan Wangji said. Don't worry, I'll traumatize him later. We probably should give him some space right about now. Oh, my goodness. Annika says, your book clubs are always the perfect balance of jokes and seriousness, and I love hearing your thoughts on the tougher themes. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, because, yeah, I think there's a time and space for, like, jokes and a time and space for seriousness and stuff like that. Okay. This is hilarious. That's probably best. Wei Wuxian glanced back, then heaved a rare sigh of complaint. I don't want to deal with any more of these random messes, he groaned. I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Also, I like that it's a rare sigh of complaint, that, like, Wei Wuxian doesn't complain much, you know? He's finally sick of being the protagonist. Yes, Orion. Lamonji nodded. He reined Little Apple in a bit and continued down the road. Also, he's holding the reins for Little Apple and Wei Wuxian is on his back. This is like, all they need is a little one, right? This is his, like, ultimate fantasy. Everyone had their own problems that no one but they could solve. Even when it came to blood-related brothers, there was nothing Lamonji could do right now to help Lan Qichen. Any consolation would be powerless to help, and anything he did would be in vain. Lamonji paused for a moment, then said, Wei Ying. What? Wei Wuxian answered. There is something I never told you. Wei Wuxian's heart skipped a beat. What is it? Lamonji stopped to look him in the eyes. But just as he was about to speak, there came the sound of hurried running behind them. God damn it, how are people caught up to us already? Wei Wuxian griped. Someone had indeed caught up, but fortunately, it wasn't anyone too awful. Lan Sizhui panted as he ran up to them. Oh! Hen Guanjun! Wei Qianbei! Wei Wuxian propped his arms on the donkey's head. Sizhui, my boy, I'm eloping with your clan's Hen Guanjun. What are you following us for? Aren't you scared of being yelled at by Lan Lao Shen Sheng? I'm eloping! Oh my god, I love that. Lan Sizhui blushed. Wei Qianbei, don't be like that. I only came because I have a very important question to ask. And what's that? Wei Wuxian asked. I remembered some bits and pieces of my past, but I couldn't be sure, so I came here to confirm them with Han Guanjun and Wei Qianbei. Lamonji looked at him, then looked at Wen Ning. Wen Ning nodded. What is it? Wei Wuxian asked. Lan Sizhui squared his shoulders, puffed his chest, and drew in a deep breath. You call yourself an excellent cook, but everything you make burns both the eyes and the stomach. Ha! Wei Wuxian was flabbergasted. Huh? You buried me in the radish patch and told me that some sun and water would help make me grow faster and taller, and that more kids would sprout and play with me. Lan Sizhui added. Wei Wuxian was speechless. Oh, I just got chills. You said you were going to treat Han Guanjun to a meal, but in the end, you ran off without paying the bill. Lan Sizhui continued. Han Guanjun was still the one who paid. Wei Wuxian's eyes widened. He was on the verge of falling off the donkey. You... Lan Sizhui stared squarely at Wei Wuxian and Lamonji. Maybe I was too young back then. There are a lot of things I don't fully remember, but I'm absolutely certain that I used to be surnamed Wen. Surnamed Wen? Wei Wuxian's voice was trembling. Aren't you surnamed Lan? Lan Sizhui. Lan Yuan. Lan Yuan. Wen Yuan? Lan Sizhui gave a hard nod, his voice also shaking. Wei Qianbei, I'm Ayuan. This is so cute. Oh my god. Oh, of all things, a child survived the war. The fact that was probably just some terribly sad, fleeting thought among all of Wei Wuxian's other terribly sad, fleeting thoughts of just like, oh yeah, remember that kid? Fucking died. Oh. The fact that they can have this is so, so sweet. Oh my god, that's so sweet. Wei Wuxian had yet to wrap his head around it all. Ayuan, he asked in a gaze. Didn't Ayuan die? He wound up all alone on the burial mounds. He trailed off as Lan Qichen's words echoed in his ears. It has been said that he spent those years facing the wall in reflection. In truth, he was too injured to do any such thing, and even so, when he learned of your death, he had to go to the burial mounds to see for himself, forcibly dragging his body there in such a state. He whipped his head around to face Lan Wangji. Lan Zhan, it was you? Yes, Lan Wangji admitted. He gazed at Wei Wuxian. That is what I never told you. Oh my god, he saved his baby! He went back for the baby! Oh my god. Wei Wuxian couldn't speak for the longest time. Finally, Lan Sizhui couldn't hold back anymore and leapt over with a cry. He caught Wei Wuxian with one arm while his other caught Lan Wangji, and he pulled the three of them together into a tight hug. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji were both startled by the sudden embrace. Oh, Orion's Belt, thank you for your donation. When I first started Moda Sushi, I had been spoiled that Wei Wuxian and or Lan Wangji had a kid, but I didn't know anything else, so I went around thinking Lan Wangji was a deadbeat. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh, that's a funny misunderstanding. Look at this. Look at them in their hug. And then fucking Wen Ning and the donkey in the background. It's like, my beautiful, gorgeous family and this strange man that we also like. It's like, in the end, Wen Ning becomes the weird uncle. It's like, Wei Wuxian was the weird uncle? No, now it's Wen Ning. We love him, though. And I also love that Lan Sizhui is someone that really, really loves Wen Ning as well. And can kind of have a closer relationship with him without kind of weird drama and feelings. Like, to him, he's like his family. Like, he is his family. But I really love that they have such a genuinely good relationship. And, like, Wen Ning can kind of be like an older brother to him. CSL says, this scene, this picture, this hug, my absolute favorite moment. I always cry. Wei Wuxian, it wasn't all a waste. Ayuan lives. Yes, it's true. It wasn't a waste. It wasn't a waste. All the kindness that he showed the Wens and everything that he did, and the hard path, the less traveled upon path, the one fucking, I can never recite it. I need it like written out in my room somewhere. The less traveled path, the one planked path or whatever that he took was worth it in the end. Oh. And thank you for donating, CSCL. The path less traveled. Lan Sizhui buried his head in their shoulders. Han Guanzhun, Wei Qianbei, I... His voice was muffled. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji, who were only inches away from each other, exchanged a look. They both saw something very soft in each other's eyes. Oh, they're like, we're dads! We are dads! Oh my god, we're dads! The one planked bridge! Yes, the single plank bridge. How do you picture that? The one planked bridge as opposed to the nicely made bridge, like the plunk plink in the water versus like a is that what we're supposed to be visualizing? Wei Wuxian pulled himself together and patted Lan Sizhui on the back. All right, don't cry. I'm not. I just suddenly feel so happy. But so happy. Oh, I suddenly feel so sad. But so happy too. I don't know how to describe it. After a brief silence, Lan Wangji also patted him on the back. Then do not worry about it, he said. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Yeah, Wei Wuxian agreed. It's like, you know what? You can feel your feelings. It's all good. Lan Sizhui responded by hugging the two tighter. It didn't take long before Wei Wuxian protested. Hey, child, why are your arms so strong? As I'd expect of someone taught by Han Guanzhun himself. Lan Wangji gave him a look. You have taught him as well. No wonder he's so well brought up, Wei Wuxian commented. However, Lan Sizhui disagreed. No, Wei Qianbei never taught me. Says who? Wei Wuxian protested. You were too little, that's all. You forgot everything I taught you. I didn't. I remember it now. I think you did teach me in the past, Lan Sizhui said. See? You taught me how to disguise erotica as regular books, Lan Sizhui said seriously. Oh my gosh. Lan Wangji gave Wei Wuxian another look. Lan Sizhui continued on. You also taught me that when a beautiful girl walks by... What a load of nonsense, Wei Wuxian interrupted. Child, is that all you remember? Please, as if I'd teach that stuff to kids. Lan Sizhui looked up. Ning Shushu stands as my witness. He was also there when you taught me all that stuff. Witness to what? Nothing of the sort happened, Wei Wuxian insisted. I don't remember anything, Wen Ning said. Lan Sizhui turned to Lan Wangji. Hang Guanjun, everything I said is true. Lan Wangji gave a nod. I know. He's like, I know my husband very well. Don't worry. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Wei Wuxian just excited to have a kid around and tell him about his wicked youth, you know. Lan Zhan! Wei Wuxian was about to make a scene and roll around on the donkey's back, but then he thought of something instead and asked, speaking of which, what triggered your memories, Sizhui? I'm not sure, Lan Sizhui replied. Just that when I saw Chen Qing, it felt incredibly familiar. Wei Wuxian suspected it had been Chen Qing. Of course you'd be familiar with that thing. You used to love chewing on it, always drooling all over it. There were times I couldn't even play it, thanks to you. Lan Sizhui turned red at once. Really? I can't believe he gave the ultimate demon flute, the flute that Jingyi is obsessed with, just as its like weapon of mass destruction and evil. And Sizhui grew up sucking on it. That's so cute. Wei Wuxian grinned with glee. Yeah, why else would seeing it bring back your memories? Do you want to hear more stories from when you were little? He gestured with his hands, miming 2 butterflies. Hang Guanjun, do you remember the time I treated you to food and he was holding these 2 butterflies and muttering to himself, I like you too. Lan Sizhui was blushing harder by the minute. Oh yeah, you even called Hang Guanjun your daddy in public. Poor Hang Guanjun, an upstanding, chaste young man in the bloom of his youth, became a father so suddenly. Ah! Lan Sizhui blushed heavily as he cried, Hang Guanjun, I'm sorry. Lan Wangji looked at the giggling Wei Wuxian and shook his head. There was nothing but softness in his expression. Oh, he loves being a dad. Oh yeah, Wen Ning, you know about this already? Wei Wuxian asked. Wen Ning nodded. Wei Wuxian was stunned. Then why didn't you tell me? Wen Ning stole a glance at Lan Wangji before replying cautiously. Lan Gongzi didn't say that I should tell you, so... Wei Wuxian was indignant. Why are you so obedient to him? You're the Ghost General. Why is the Ghost General scared of Hang Guanjun? Isn't that embarrassing for me? Lan Sizhui was still crying. Hang Guanjun, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. That is really, really cute. Okay, there's a paragraph break. The 4 parted ways at the woods near the edge of Yunping City. Gongzi, we will be heading this way, Wen Ning said. Where to? Wei Wuxian asked. Didn't you ask me what I'd do after everything was over? Wen Ning said. I discussed it with Ayuan. We will go to Qishan and bury our family's ashes there. We were also thinking about searching the area to see if we can find anything that once belonged to my sister while she was alive, so we can build a cenotaph in her honor. I built one for the 2 of you at the burial mounds, but it was burnt down, Wei Wuxian said. We'll make a trip to Qishan too. He turned to Lan Wangji, but before he could ask for the latter's opinion, Wen Ning declined. No, it's fine. Taken aback, Wei Wuxian asked, You don't want us to come with? Lan Sizhui quickly chimed in. Wei Qianbei, just go with Hang Guanjun. Hang Guanjun is behind them being like, do not fucking... Wei Wuxian wanted to say more, but Wen Ning said, Really, it's fine. Wei Gongzi, you have done enough. After a brief pause, Wei Wuxian asked, What will you do after you've finished all that? Send Dayuan back to the cloud recesses, Wen Ning replied. Then I can take my time pondering what to do next. As for what follows, let me go my own way. Finally! Wei Wuxian nodded slowly. Just as well. This was the first time in many years that Wen Ning would not be walking the same road as him. He had made up his own mind, perhaps. Wei Wuxian thought. He now had things he wanted to do. It was the same thing Wei Wuxian had always wanted. Everyone had their own path to take. Yet now that the day was finally here, it was a little saddening to watch Wen Ning and Lan Sizhui's backs gradually get farther and farther away until they disappeared. The only person left at his side was Lan Wangji. How very fortunate, then, that Lan Wangji was also the only person he wanted beside him. Lan Zhan, Wei Wuxian called. You've taught him well, Wei Wuxian remarked. There will be many more opportunities to meet in the future. I know. Once Wen Ning brings Sizhui back to the cloud recesses, we can settle nearby and see him regularly. Oh, they're fully gonna be their dads. Wei Wuxian looked at him. Lan Zhan, are you scared of me thanking you? It suddenly occurred to me that I said thank you every time we parted ways in my past life, and each time we'd meet again, I would always be in a worse state than before. The killing of Wen Chao and Wen Julio at the post station, the encounter in Yun Meng at the flower-tossing terrace, their goodbye at the Yiling burial mounds. Each time he'd used the phrase to draw a clear line between himself and Lan Wangji, and put greater distance between them. Lan Wangji spoke after a long silence. Between you and I, there was no need to say thank you or sorry. That's crazy! Oh my god! I just love that. I just love that. It's like, don't worry. We get each other. We get each other. We're so connected that you don't need to say those words. I just know. I just know. It's like, those are the most important words that you need to tell people, but between us, they don't need to be said. That's awesome. Wei Wuxian chuckled at that. Alright, then I'll say some other things. Like... He lowered his voice and gestured for Lan Wangji to come closer, as if he wanted to whisper in his ear. Sure enough, Lan Wangji approached. Unexpectedly, Wei Wuxian reached out and tilted his chin up before leaning down to press a kiss to his lips. It was a long time before Wei Wuxian moved away slightly. His eyelashes brushed against Lan Wangji's own as he asked in a low voice. How's that? ... Give me a reaction, Han Guanzhen, Wei Wuxian prompted. ... So stoic. With a mood like this, shouldn't you be violently pinning me to the ground? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Quinn, thank you for your donation. Sad how the only people happy at the end of the series, Wei Wuxian, Lan Wangji, their child, pet zombie, and the guy who gets paid to make bathtubs. That's funny. The guy who gets paid to make bathtubs. Yeah, that's funny. Thank you for donating, Quinn. Okay, here we go. Before he could finish, Lan Wangji circled his hand around the back of Wei Wuxian's neck and hooked him over in one rough movement to forcefully press the two of them together once more. Little Apple was shaken. It even stopped chewing the apple in its mouth and froze as stiff as a wooden toy. It wasn't long before the donkey could no longer carry Wei Wuxian. Lan Wangji wound one arm around his back, put the other under his knees, and in one swift movement swept him off the little spotted donkey. Wei Wuxian was then pinned to the ground and brutally kissed by Lan Wangji, just like he wanted. But all of a sudden, he broke the kiss. Wait a sec! Hang on! What? Lan Wangji asked. Wei Wuxian squinted. I suddenly got the feeling that... The woods, the bushes, the wild grasses, the forceful action, and the entangling tongues. It was like deja vu. He remembers the blindfold kiss! Oh my god! Oh my god! He thought for a moment, and the more he did, the more this felt familiar for some reason. He felt he had to ask, so he ventured carefully. During the siege hunt at Mount Baifeng, the time I was blindfolded. Lan Zhan, did you? He didn't finish this question, nor did Lan Wangji answer, but his fingers curled slightly. The instant Wei Wuxian noticed the strangeness of his expression, he propped himself up and pressed his ear to Lan Wangji's chest. Sure enough, he heard wild, violent thumping. I love how he's like, this bitch isn't gonna tell me anything, but I know how to find the truth. Wei Wuxian was shocked to his core. Oh, it really was you! Lan Wangji gulped nervously. Wei Wuxian couldn't believe it. Lan Zhan, you'd do something like that! You really can't judge a book by its cover. ... Did you know? I always thought it was some shy female cultivator who had a secret crush, but was too scared to tell me, Wei Wuxian asked. ... You've harbored improper thoughts about me for that long? Wei Wuxian asked. Oh my god. At the time, I was aware it was wrong of me. Very wrong of me, Lan Wangji mumbled. So wrong I had to punch a tree about it. Wei Wuxian remembered that Lan Wangji had been punching trees alone in the woods when he found him later. So that's why you were so angry. And Wei Wuxian had thought he was mad at him. As it turned out, he was mad at himself, mad at his own momentary impulses, mad at his own inability to maintain self-control, mad that he had taken advantage of the situation. It was not how a gentleman should conduct himself, and more importantly, it went against his family's motto. Seeing how low Lan Wangji hung his head as if he'd started to reflect on his past behavior again, Wei Wuxian tickled him under the chin. Oh, come on. Why so conflicted? So you already kissed me long ago. I'm over the moon with happiness. That was my first kiss, you know? Congrats, Han Guanzhen. Oh, that's so cute. This is so cute. I can't believe this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Lan Wangji abruptly looked at him. First kiss? Yeah, Wei Wuxian replied. Why? What did you think? I thought you were a whore. Lan Wangji gazed at him unblinkingly with a strange, subtle shimmer in his eyes. Then what? Wei Wuxian prompted. Hesitating over your words isn't your style, Anjan. Then you, at the time, why? Lan Wangji asked haltingly. Wei Wuxian was curious. Why what? Lan Wangji moved his lips. Why did you not fight back? Wei Wuxian was taken aback. You clearly did not know the other party, so why did you not fight back? Lan Wangji grumbled. And afterward, why did you tell me that? Tell him what? Wei Wuxian finally remembered. After Wei Wuxian had met Lan Wangji by accident at Mount Baifeng, he'd smugly boasted on and on about how he was so experienced that no one would dare kiss Lan Wangji, and that there must be no one Lan Wangji would kiss either. He'd even said that Lan Wangji would never be able to give away his first kiss in this lifetime. He burst out in wild, earth-shattering laughter, hugging his belly and pounding the ground with his fists. Lan Wangji was speechless. Still roaring with laughter, Wei Wuxian hugged him and gave him a smacking kiss on the lips. After all that fuss, what you were actually angriest about was that I apparently kissed someone else before? You're so silly, Lan Zhan. You really believe the fucking bullshit I spew. Only a little stick in the mud like you would believe any of it. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's like, you believed that? He's like, why would you lie to me? Why is it on me to know if you're lying or not? Why are you lying? His mocking tone was too loud, too excessive. Finally, unable to contain himself any longer, Lan Wangji pinned him to the ground again. Leaving Little Apple where it was, the entwined couple stumbled behind a thicket. Oh no, is it happening? The rain had only recently cleared up, and the water droplets still clinging to the grass dampened Lan Wangji's white robes, but those robes were quickly stripped away by Wei Wuxian. Don't move, he whispered. The scent of fresh grass surrounded Wei Wuxian's neck and lips, while Lan Wangji emanated the cool fragrance of sandalwood. He kneeled between Lan Wangji's legs and pressed his lips to his forehead before tracing a path down with further kisses. Oh my god. Oh my god. Lan Wangji's gonna nut! From between his eyebrows to the tip of his nose, his cheeks, his lips, his chin, downward to the curve of his throat, to the bend of his neck, to his heart. With infinite veneration did he travel the highs and lows. As his kisses reached Lan Wangji's toned abdomen and continued downward, strands of hair slipped past Wei Wuxian's shoulders. The locks of his hair, accompanied by the small puffs of his breath, brushed and teased this dangerous territory. Lan Wangji reached out to push his shoulders back as if he could endure no more. Wei Wuxian caught his wrist. Hey, don't move. Like I said, allow me. He tugged his hair ribbon loose, then retied his long hair before bending his head down again. Sensing what he was about to do, Lan Wangji grew a little flustered and objected quietly. No. Yes, Wei Wuxian countered, then gently captured Lan Wangji with his lips. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow. Okay. In the thicket! We're on page 152. Kate, listening to Kictor read Spot while being chased by ghosts is just another Tuesday for me. Okay. Mindful of his teeth, he carefully took him in his mouth. Oh my god. It's all the way in there. Let's just say that much. Immediately sensing his discomfort, because it was a little bit uncomfortable, because it went all the way to the back of his throat. Lan Wangji made to push him away, worried that Wei Wuxian was forcing himself. Stop. Wei Wuxian pushed his hand away and began to slowly, continue. You, Lamonji started, but any further words quickly became caught in his throat. The sum total of illustrated erotica Wei Wuxian had looked at over the years could fill an entire section of the Lan clan's room of forbidden books. Furthermore, he was also a very smart man. It's like, why are you so good at blowjobs? Oh, well, I've read a lot of erotica, and I'm a very smart man. Extrapolating from what he'd read, he'd worked the hard, oh, brother! Oh, I hate that word. Why is it member? Why is it always member? Hey. Etiquette, thank you for donating. Etiquette says, I've created a kickflip guild and where winds meet. Oh, that's awesome. And your character's name is Hwai-song. That's fucking amazing. Oh my god, that's incredible. Thank you so much, Etiquette. Okay, the member. Oh, the wet cavity. Oh, to have the most sensitive part of him engulfed entirely within a warm, wet cavity. But lavished as well. But it was sheer torture for Lan Wangji. He could barely keep himself from losing control. And doing something violent. Oh, he does got that dog in him. When he heard Lan Wangji begin to have increasingly harsh breaths, Wei Wuxian sped up. The fingers gripping his shoulder dug in harder. Just as his neck and jaw were starting to get sore from the effort. Oh! Okay, it happened. It happened! Oh, wow, there's a very descriptive sentence of its viscosity, its heat, and its flavor. The suddenness of it made Wei Wuxian choke violently. He immediately spat out. He didn't spit out what you're thinking. Oh my god. Wow. This is hilarious. This is fucking hilarious. It's like Lan Wangji is so refined. He is so refined and gentlemanly that what just happened is so mortifying. Oh my god. Lan Wangji's like, spit it out quickly. It's Lan Wangji and Chu Wanning shaking hands right now. Wei Wuxian is like, nope, and opened his mouth to show him. He's like, nope. Yep. Okay, the tip of his tongue was a vibrant red, and his lips were the same luscious hue. Oh my god, this is so descriptive. Oh my god. Well, you can picture another color on his lips, let's just say that much. Lan Wangji stared at him in a daze, unable to utter a single word. He was the most ascetic of all distinguished cultivators, but his usual aloofness and composure had been shattered. He was dyed a blushing shade of peach from the corners of his eyes to the ends of his eyebrows, adding to his charm. He looked like he'd just been horribly bullied, and Wei Wuxian couldn't have loved this look more. Arms still bare, he wrapped them around Lan Wangji's shoulders and dropped a light kiss at the corner of his mouth, then another on his brow. Good boy. Don't let this scare you. Next time, I'll let you blow me. Make sure you do it as well as I did, 'kay? His lips were still... Yep. And the kiss, oh my god, it's all over him and him. This is just so messy. Oh my god. Coupled with the dazed expression on his face, this made for a pitiful yet adorable image that tugged at Wei Wuxian's heart. He gave him another smacking kiss on the lips and murmured, God, I love you so much, Lanjan. Lan Wangji slowly gazed at him. Maybe it was his imagination, but Wei Wuxian thought his eyes were slightly red. He had yet to notice the look of forced endurance in Lan Wangji's eyes, a sign that he was on the verge of losing control. Thinking perhaps he still hadn't had enough, Wei Wuxian starts touching him. Let's stay like this forever from now on, okay? After all of a sudden, Lan Wangji tackled him and pinned him onto the grass once more. Oh my god. Oh my god. The world spun, and in an instant the two had switched positions. Feeling Lamonji biting at him again, Wei Wuxian moved to push his head away as he laughed. Why so impatient? I said next time you can. There was an abrupt jab of pain from his lower body that elicited an ah from his lips. He frowned slightly. Oh my god! Closing the door. I can't believe he just fucking did that. It was a finger, but holy. Wow. Okay. They didn't even talk about that. Okay. Yeah, Luncham, what did you just shove in me? It was a rhetorical question, since he could already tell it was a long, slender finger. A Guchin strumming finger. Tiercella says, I always gag when I hear good girl from my bee friend. Thank you for donating. Gross City Kimono says, I was so looking forward to getting your reaction and reading this canon scene within the main story. Yes! Like, I can't believe that this is, wow. And you know, it's really descriptive. Like, I'm not a prude at all, but like, oh my god, the scum villain description I don't think was nearly as deep, you know? Ugh. Wow. There are just some words that just seem, they're just, wow, so vulgar. He closed his legs reflexively, but the odd feeling, oh, but the odd feeling continued because Lamonji put another in there. Wei Wuxian had once been a hot-blooded young man who read countless volumes of erotica, but he had never read anything homoerotic. Oh my god. Orion's Belt says, at the very least, Bingha uses lube. Yeah, Bingha's great. Bingha is great because she's like, I can't stop. She's just, I just gotta fucking do this. I'm so sorry. You know? But this is crazy. But you know what? Wei Wuxian was the one that was like, you know, you're the one who should be violently pinning me to the ground right now. And Lamonji, he's doing it. He'd never imagined he'd wind up developing a taste for such things, and therefore had no urge to explore it. He's a virgin, and so he'd been under the impression that lovemaking between men basically involved some kissing, some hugging, and maybe some use of the mouth and hands. He'd never investigated further. You're telling me he didn't even know this was an option? I don't believe that. That's hilarious. It was only now, being pinned to the ground by Lamonji and stretched bit by bit, that he dimly realized their options might not be as limited as he thought. Aside from minor discomfort, he felt shock tinged with amusement. But by the time he put another one in, he could not smile anymore. He was already it was already full, but 3 fingers. Lamonji's dick is so big. Let's just say Lamonji's dick is so big. It's a lot more than 3. Thank you for donating to Tiercella. I can't believe he didn't know this was an option. I love how he's like this thrilled. He's like, this is so novel. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wei Wuxian rambled aloud, unable to stop himself. Lanzhan, can you calm down for a sec? You're gonna do that? Yeah, you sure you're not mistaken? Is that the right place? I think maybe it's not quite. But it didn't seem like Lamonji was able to hear a word he said anymore. He cut Wei Wuxian off with a rough kiss, lowered himself on top of him. And he did it! Oh my god! Oh my god, girl! Oh my god, girl! In the thicket! We're just doing it in the thicket! Oh my god. Oh, it was only just a little bit, but Wei Wuxian's eyes went unbelievably wide. And his legs jerked upward and his knees bent. Their bodies were pressed tightly together. They were breathless and their hearts beat like drums. When Lamonji next spoke to apologize, his voice was shattered. Sorry, I couldn't hold back anymore. All of this in the thicket. Wow. Seeing how red his eyes had become after suffering so long under restraint, Wei Wuxian clenched his teeth. If you can't, then don't. So, what do I do now? Okay, so that's... Oh my gosh, hello. Oh my god. That was not Stitch. Okay, okay. Just don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay. If you can't... Okay, so Lamonji's like, I can't hold back anymore. And Wei Wuxian's like, then don't fucking hold back. I love that. I love that. Okay. He was actually asking him for advice. A drowning man will clutch at straws. Relax. ... Lamonji answered. Yeah, Wei Wuxian says, so, what do I do now? Lamonji like, I didn't think I'd get this far, honestly. Relax. Wei Wuxian mumbled to himself, okay, relax, I'll relax. He'd only managed to loosen up a tiny bit before Lamonji tried again. Oh, the word buttocks is used. He's very tense. But he's moaning. Does it hurt very much? Lamonji asked. Thank you, egg person. Thank you. Thank you. Wei Wuxian hugged him, his body shaking uncontrollably. Teary-eyed, he said, yeah, it hurts. It's my first time. Of course it hurts. As soon as he said that, he felt... Oh! What?! Lamonji liked that. I think... I'm gonna choose to believe that the part that Lamonji liked was the, it's my first time part, not the, yeah, it hurts part. Just know the word vulnerable insides is used. Wei Wuxian snorted and laughed out loud when such a simple response made the self-possessed Han Guanzhong lose control. Being a man himself, he knew how awful Lamonji had to feel right now, being stuck like this. Despite his predicament, he was still being considerate of Wei Wuxian's comfort instead of just forcing himself all the way in. Wei Wuxian's heart melted, and he reached out and hooked Lamonji's neck down to whisper in his ear. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, these two, they're... whatever they got together, it works. It works for them, you know? Vico, I have not seen the word fleshy yet. Actually, there might have been fleshy. No, if there was fleshy, I would let you know. Tiercella. Oh, they fucking... okay. Then he says, Lanjan, good Lanjan, Argaga, let me tell you what to do. Kiss me now, and it won't hurt anymore. Aww. Lamonji's fair earlobe burned bright red. Stop calling me that. He gritted out with difficulty. Wei Wuxian laughed at the stammer. You don't like it? Then let me change it up. Wanji Didi, Jan R, Hangguang, which one do you like? Lamonji bit Wei Wuxian's lips as he, oh my god, he's going at it, okay. All of Wei Wuxian's cries were sealed in his throat. He gripped Lamonji's shoulders tightly, his brow furrowed deeply, tears trickling from the corners of his eyes. His Oh, they're locked together. Let's just say that much. Lamonji regained himself a little, heaving a few breaths before he apologized. Sorry. Wei Wuxian shook his head and forced a smile. Like you said, there's never any need to say that between us. That's hilarious. Lamonji tentatively leaned in to kiss him, somewhat clumsy in his movements. Wei Wuxian squinted with happiness and opened his mouth to allow a deeper, yep. He hooked his tongue and intertwined it with Lamonji's. Whoa! Amidst the haze, his eyes traveled to the brand just beneath Lamonji's collarbone. He placed his hand over the scar, and his smile faded. Lanjan, tell me, does this also have something to do with me? Really? Right now? Right now? Wei Ying? Right now? Do I have to talk about this? After a brief silence, Lamonji replied, It is nothing. I was lost to drink at the time. After escorting Wei Wuxian back to the burial mounds, what had awaited Lamonji was 3 years of confinement. However, during that period had come the news that what went around came around, and that evil did not go unpunished, that the Yiling Patriarch was finally dead. Dragging his horribly injured... This is fucking crazy to get this now in the middle of the sex scene. That's fucking crazy. Ugh, what a mood shift, right? Okay. Dragging his horribly injured body, Lamonji had rushed to Yiling and searched the mountain for days. Although he had found the unconscious, feverish Wen Yuan tucked inside the hollow of a scorched tree, he had found nothing of Wei Wuxian, not even a bone, a chunk of flesh, or a frail wisp of soul. On his way back to the Lan Clan of Gusu, Lamonji had bought a jug of Emperor's Smile in Sai Town. Oh my god, it was after he couldn't even find his body. Oh! The liquor had been ambrosial and rich. It was clearly not heavily spiced, but it burned his throat all the same, burned all the way up to the rims of his eyes and down into the depths of his heart. Oh. He hadn't liked the taste, but he had sort of understood why a certain person had liked it. Oh. That's sad. That's upsetting, actually. He's like, Wei Wuxian was probably hiding a lot of sadness in his heart. That's why he loved drinking. Jeez. That night had been the very first time Lamonji had drunk alcohol, and likewise the very first time he had gotten drunk. He had no memory of what he'd done in his inebriated state, but everyone in the Lan Clan had looked at him with disbelief for a long time afterwards, whether they were juniors or sect disciples. Some had said that he'd smashed open an ancient room in the cloud recesses that night and rummaged through it, overturning everything in the chamber as if in search of something. When Lan Qichen had questioned him, he'd been at a loss, eyes blank. He had asked his brother for a flute. Oh my god, this is so upsetting. Lan Qichen had found a fine flute made of white jade and brought it to him, but Lamonji had only hurled it aside in anger. It wasn't the one he wanted, and he couldn't find that one anywhere. Then, all of a sudden, he had spotted the iron branding rods, which had been collected from the Wen clans of Qishan, and locked away. When Lamonji had sobered up, his chest bore the same wound that Wei Wuxian had gained inside the cave of Xuanwu of Slaughter. This is crazy. This is crazy. Lan Qiren had looked very sad and very angry, but in the end, he had not reprimanded him further. Reprimands, punishments, there had been enough of those. He had sighed and stopped fighting Lamonji's decision to keep Wen Yuan. Lamonji had bowed, assigned himself punishment of his own accord, and silently kneeled for 1 day and 1 night inside the cloud recesses. He had drunk the liquor he had drunk. He had suffered the injury he had suffered. By now, that wound had been scarred over for 13 years. Lamonji began to thrust in and out. That's the fucking craziest whiplash I think I've ever gotten reading. Holy shit. Oh my god. I think I need to make a little Bishen emoji so we can put like swords in the chat. Oh my god. That is hilarious. The whiplash of that is... That's hilarious. Holy shit, that's funny. Okay. Wei Wuxian, he's like shutting his eyes, he's like getting used to it. When he had grown somewhat accustomed to the invasion of the body snatchers, he unconsciously began to twist his waist. Oh! It's feeling good now, everybody. It's feeling good. Yahoo! All of a sudden, Wei Wuxian discovered how to enjoy himself in this position. We love that! His limbs, his body, his breath, every part of him had melted into a wonton puddle. Wonton. Wei Wuxian dug his hands into Lan Wangji's long hair, which was drenched with sweat. Oh, why is he's so sweaty? Holy crap. That's a lot. And smiled as he toyed with his forehead ribbon. Oh my god. Okay, now he's like, does it feel good? Ah! Lan Wangji was a man of action, not a man of words. He had no idea how to flirt. He worked hard and spoke little, so he bit Wei Wuxian's bottom lip and redoubled his efforts, let's just say. Wei Wuxian was sweating profusely. They are sweating so much. There's a lot of sweat. Oh my gosh. Lan Zhan, I like you so much. I'm yours, only yours. Easy. As they say, extreme joy begets tragedies. And he turned to begging. Take it easy, it's sensitive. Oh, now he's like, you're too strong, you're gonna break me. And then he's like, yeah, that's it. Wei Wuxian hooked his arms around Lan Wangji's shoulders. Oh, wow, he's like, he's crawling all over him. As his insides were rearranged. As his insides were rearranged. Wow. Oh, his skin rubbed against the wild grass. I could never. I would have crazy allergies. I'd probably get hives. Okay. After he caught his breath, he's like, I'm gonna keep talking. Lan Zhan, you're so good. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You're good at playing the guqin, good at calligraphy, strong in spiritual power and cultivation, and so incredible in bed. Why are you so good? Man, do I love you. Lan Wangji was speechless. That's amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so funny. I love that. He just can't help praising him. At a time like this, it was as though Wei Wuxian had been born without shame, and the more explicit his words, the more excited he began. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Wow, his words are really vulgar. Okay. He's like, you're the only one I'll let do this. You can... Yep. Just as much as you want. He spread his legs further apart with frank honesty. He's like, I'm all yours, inside and out. The more you can, the more I like it. Oh, you can guess. You can guess what I'm gonna say. Wei Wuxian was babbling to the point of forgetting himself when Lan Wangji suddenly dove to a terrifyingly unprecedented depth. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Cave diving. He didn't think he actually could go any deeper. Wei Wuxian says, well, not like that. That's too much. Now he wants to escape. Not that Lan Wangji would let him. Oh, he pinned him down. Just like he said he would. And, to continue with what had to be done. Oh my god. You get what you deserve, he gasped, savage fury evident in his voice. Oh my god, I just can't take it seriously from Lan Wangji because he's so awkward. It's like, oh yeah, that's so sexy when you talk like that, Lan Wangji, but him, like, it's like, yeah, you get what you deserve. And Wei Wuxian, who just, it's like, Wei Wuxian always beats him in like, anything that involves talking, right? So when Lan Wangji is trying to talk this way, I just can't take it seriously. Oh my god. Wei Wuxian's being obedient. He says, you're gonna He says what Moran says he's going to do to Chuaning, but he's like, you're doing that to me. I'm gonna die. It's my first time. Be nice to me. Lan Wangji is so sweaty. A rare trace of shame colored the expression of this cool, aloof man who never faltered in the face of catastrophe. He was on the verge of losing it. And okay, this is hilarious. Lan Wangji says, "Are you actually begging for mercy, or are you doing this on purpose?" It's so funny because they're like kind of dipping into like a role play and like kind of not, you know. It's like, and then Lan Wangji being like, "I can't tell. Is this sexy or am I hurting you?" Oh my god. Wei Wuxian says, "Somebody help!" Lan Wangji kissed away the tears and gritted through his teeth. Wei Ying, I'm being serious. Stop it. I can't control myself. I'm scared. I'm sorry. He still knew to apologize, even in a situation as mortifying as this. His face was flushed and his brows knitted, making him the very picture of contrition. Listening to him made Wei Wuxian's heart so soft and weak that he was reduced to a complete mess. "Why are you apologizing?" he murmured. "Even if you F me to pieces, I'll still be happy because you're the one who did it." That is so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. The two were damp and glistening from head to toe. Wei Wuxian was never one to learn his lesson. He just paid dearly for running his mouth, but it didn't take long for him to lose control again and start spewing nonsense in the midst of his gasps. "Lan Zhan, hey, I suddenly realized you're done for. We still haven't done our last wedding vow, so we're not married yet. Doing something like this before we're married. Do you know what that's called? If your uncle finds out, he'll dunk you in a pig's cage." Lan Wangji let out an almost ferocious growl. "I was already done for!" Hit with another, yep, Wei Wuxian. Okay, he's leaning back. He's exposing his defenseless throat. Lan Wangji bit him again. Lan Wangji's a biter. The overwhelming power of how good it felt. Oh! Wei Wuxian's done. The only thing he could think was, I can't believe I didn't fucking do this with Lan Zhan when we were 15. So much damn time wasted. Oh my god, that's so funny. That is so, so funny. That is amazing. I love how they were, like, very clumsily figuring this out together. That's hilarious. Hey, Miss Rosie! Lan Wangji's done too. Wei Wuxian raised his slightly limp arm and hugged him back with equal vigor. They embraced each other quietly for a while. When Wei Wuxian regained a bit of energy, he's like, he's really, yeah. Lan Argangsa, when did you start to like me? It was a terrible time for what he was doing, and a terrible place for it too. An unnatural look began to return to Lan Wangji's face. If you liked me for so long, why didn't you fuck me sooner? The mountain at the back of your cloud recesses is a pretty good spot. Back then, you could have tied me up and dragged me away while I was sneaking around all alone in the wild, and then you could have had your way with me on the grass, just like this. Oh my god, this is so funny. Lan Wangji hadn't even... oh, they're going round two! Oh, very graphic. Oh, very graphic, very graphic. Oh. And he's like, I'm gonna keep talking. You're so strong, I definitely wouldn't have been able to fight back. If I yelled, you could have silenced me. No one would have come to my rescue, even if I lost my voice from screaming. Oh my god. Or, that library pavilion of yours is pretty good too. You could have laid the books out like a bed, rolled around on them, and referenced all the positions from the erotica. Any positions you would have liked. I would have bullied you during the day, and you'd have bullied me at night. There we go. That's the whole thing, right? Senpai in the streets. We'd close the door and... Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. He's just rambling so much filthy stuff. And then he's like, okay, I'll stop. You're incredible. You're too strong. I can't take it. Lan Wangji couldn't bear his teasing at a time like this. The fierce battering was going to turn Wei Wuxian inside out. Oh my god. He softened his tune and began to nicely beg for mercy, but that only made Lan Wangji all the more aggressive. He crushed Wei Wuxian in this way for over an hour. They did not change positions even once. Oh my god. Here's the line. This is the line that so many people hated. When the numbness passed, he became sore and itchy instead, as if a million insects were gnawing on his bones. That's hilarious. I mean, he's in the grass. They were in one position for so long. That's hilarious. That's so funny. At last, he reaped what he had sowed. Among all the pain and this, it's also describing in grand detail how much he liked it and how good it felt. Wei Wuxian tried to coax his favor with kisses while pleading without a shred of dignity. Argaga, please have heart. Let me live. We've still got a whole life ahead of us. You can do me again next time. You can hang me up. How about that? Let this poor baby virgin go, please. Hang Guanzhen is almighty. The Yiling Patriarch has lost completely. Please finish. Instead, and we'll fight this out again another day. Veins bulged on Lan Wangji's forehead, and he replied with immense difficulty, enunciating each word clearly. If you really want this to stop, then shut up and stop talking. But I was born with a mouth to speak, Wei Wuxian said. Lan Zhan, when I said I wanted to sleep with you every day, can you pretend you never heard me? No, Lan Wangji said. How can you be like this? Wei Wuxian sounded heartbroken. You've never denied me anything before. A small smile played on Lan Wangji's lips. No. The smile made Wei Wuxian's eyes light up in an instant. It made him feel like he was floating. For a moment, he forgot where he was, but in the next moment, he was forced to tears once more by the powerful movements that were jarringly different from that smile as bright as light reflecting off snow. His hands gripped the grass as he cried out at the top of his lungs. Then 4 days. Can we change it to once every 4 days? If 4 days won't do, we could do every 3 days too. Lan Wangji's voice was both strong and resonant as he declared, every day means every day. Oh my god. That is so funny. Okay, I've read this scene out of context. And you have to read this within the context of their entire relationship to get how into each other they are and how this is so them. It's so them. They're both so happy. Everything about this is like perfect for them, you know? It's so funny. He said the thing! He said the thing! I also thought that line was something sappy as well before I knew what it was mentioned. And you know, it is romantic. Why not? Wow, that is hilarious. It is so in character. 3 months later, a group of villagers slowly... Also, can I get can you put a little, what emoji in the chat for getting through that? Who should we put in the chat? Put, not Jiggy. Maybe not Jung Chung, it's a little bit, Put some 6 balls in the chat for that, maybe. Or the little bow bun. Thank you, thank you. Oh my god, I can't believe that. I can't believe that my aunt walked in on like the worst part. It's so funny. Oh my god. But we did it. We did it. Alright. 3 months later, a group of villagers slowly began to surround the dense woods at the top of a mountain in Guangling. It's like they're still at it 3 months later? They had torches raised in their hands and wielded farming tools like instruments of defense. There was an abandoned gravesite on the mountain, one that hadn't been too peaceful in recent months. The villagers at the foot of the mountain had been constantly disturbed by the ghosts wandering out of those very graves. At last, unable to endure it any longer, they sought the help of passing cultivators and climbed the mountain to banish the hauntings once and for all. Night was falling. Insects droned ceaselessly in the tall, wild grass, their cries loud and clear. It was as though there were unknown creatures creeping within the brush, waiting to strike at any given moment. But whenever the group plucked up enough courage to tensely approach with their torches and push aside the grass, it always proved to be nothing but a false alarm. Swords at the ready, the cultivators cautiously led the villagers across the meadow and into the forest proper. The abandoned gravesite was in the woods. The tombs were crafted of stone and wood, all currently either slanting or collapsed from the toll neglect had taken. The air was thick with eerie, sinister energy. The cultivators traded looks with each other, then produced talismans to get down to business of cleaning out evil. Seeing them appear at ease, the villagers sighed a breath of relief. It seemed the situation was not too fraught. Before they could fully exhale that breath, however, there suddenly became a loud crash. A mutilated corpse had fallen onto the burial mound ahead of them. The villager closest to the mound let out a horrified scream and hurled his torch forward before running away, stumbling and crawling. Soon after, a second bloody corpse came crashing down, then a third, a fourth. It was as if the sky was raining corpses, surrounding them with the deafening non-stop thuds of falling bodies. What the hell? Oh, Ryan, thank you for your donation. Legends say Wangshan are still in the bushes to this very day. Yeah. Thank you so much for donating. Screams instantly rang out all around. The cultivators had never witnessed something like this before. In their shock, their courage deserted them. Don't run away! Don't panic! The leader of the cultivators barked. It's nothing but a puny evil. His sentence came to an abrupt stop before he could finish, like he'd been seized by the throat. He had spotted a tree. There was a man sitting at the top of said tree. The black hems of his robe hung free, and his long, slender leg, clad in a black boot, swayed gently back and forth with the utmost leisure. He seemed to be completely at ease. A dark flute was tucked into the man's waistband. A tassel as red as fresh blood dangled from one end, swaying with the movement of his leg. The cultivators' expressions changed instantly. The villagers had been in a frenzy of panic and confusion until the head cultivator's cry brought them some peace of mind. But now they could only watch as every last cultivator blanched and bolted in an instant, charging like a whirlwind out of the forest and down the mountain, leaving them to their fate. The villagers, deducing that there had to be some sort of great and formidable evil on the mountain that even the cultivators could do nothing about, were also scared witless. Everyone scattered like fleeing birds and beasts. One of the villagers was slow in his escape. As he lagged behind, he tripped and fell. Left alone with nothing but a mouthful of dirt, he was sure he would be dead in moments. Instead, his eyes lit up as he saw a man dressed in white standing before him. A long sword hung at the man's waist. He seemed awash in a hazy white glow, surrounded by the dark and haunting forest. He looked like a transcendental being, quite unlike any inhabitant of the secular world. The villager immediately begged for his help. Gongza! Gongza! Help! There are ghosts! Hurry! Get rid of the Eve! Another dead body fell in front of him before he could finish. Its face, which was bleeding from every orifice, was staring right at him. Just as the villager was about to faint from fright, the man said to him, "Go." Although it was merely a single word, the villager felt inexplicably reassured, like he'd been granted reprieve from death. A sudden burst of energy filled him, and he crawled to his feet and ran away without looking back. The white-clad man glanced at the bloody corpse crawling all over the forest, apparently at a loss for words. He gazed upward, and the black-clad vagabond sitting in the tree hopped down lightly. In the blink of an eye, the black-clad man flashed in front of him and pinned him against a tree. Isn't this the incorruptible Hangguanjun, Lamonji? He breathed out. What are you doing on my turf? The ground was littered with bloody corpses, all looking either confused or savage as they struggled to crawl around. The black-clad man extended an arm and propped it against the tree, trapping Lamonji between him and the trunk. Lamonji remained expressionless. Wow. The black-clad man let out a sigh. Since you've delivered yourself to my doorstep, then I'll... Hey, hey, hey! With but a single hand, Lamonji caught and locked both his wrists. The tables had turned. Oh, heavens! The now restrained black-clad man exclaimed in feigned surprise. Hangguanjun, you're too amazing, incredible, shocking, unbelievable. You were actually able to subdue me with but one hand. I couldn't fight back at all. What a terrifying man! Lamonji had no comment. His hand unconsciously gripped harder, and the black man's astonishment turned into horror. Ah! Ouch! Let me go, Hangwan-jun. I won't do it again. Don't grab me like that. You mustn't tie me up either, and absolutely do not pin me to the ground. I cannot believe this. This is so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. As his words and actions grew increasingly exaggerated, Lamonji's eyebrow twitched. He finally spoke to interrupt him. Enough playing around. You cringed him out of the roleplay. Wei Wuxian had been enjoying himself begging for mercy. Why? He exclaimed, astonished. I'm not done begging, though. Lamonji was momentarily speechless before he chided. You have been begging for mercy every day. Enough. Wei Wuxian leaned into him. Isn't that what you wanted? He whispered. Every day means every day. His face was extremely close, almost as if he was going to kiss Lamonji, but he refused to press their lips together so easily. He teased, suggesting he might close the gap, but never breaching that paper-thin distance. He was like an amorous but mischievous butterfly, fluttering as soft as a wispy breath over a dignified petal, flirting with perching, flirting with the promise of a kiss. At being teased like that, Lamonji's light eyes flashed. He moved like he had finally lost control of himself, the petal reaching out to touch the butterfly's wings, unable to resist the temptation. But Wei Wuxian raised his head at once, evading his lips. Call me Gaga, Wei Wuxian said, his eyebrows arching high. Call me Gaga, he prompted again. Call me Gaga and I'll let you kiss me. Oh my god! This is so funny. Lamonji's lips moved slightly. Never in his life had he ever called another by an address that had such soft, tender connotations. He had only ever addressed even Lan Qichen with a methodical shangjiang. Come on, let me hear it, Wei Wuxian pressed, tempting him. I've called you that so many times already. Once you say it and kiss me, you can do other things too. The word was already on the tip of Lamonji's tongue, but the moment he heard that, he was defeated by Wei Wuxian's teasing, and the word never left his mouth in the end. He was gonna say it! After trying to restrain himself, he hissed through his teeth. Shameless! Aren't you tired holding me with a single hand like that? Wei Wuxian said. How inconvenient to only have one hand left to do business. Composing himself, Lamonji asked politely, Then please enlighten me on what to do. Let me give you some pointers, Wei Wuxian said. Take off your forehead ribbon and tie my hands. Wouldn't it be much easier like that? Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe this! I cannot believe this! Lamonji quietly watched him giggle to himself, then slowly removed his forehead ribbon and showed it to Wei Wuxian. Next, he tied both of Wei Wuxian's hands with lightning speed. He pressed them firmly in place over Wei Wuxian's head before burying his face in the crook of his neck. Just then, a frightened shriek suddenly came from the brush. The two immediately broke apart. Lamonji placed his hand on Bishan's hilt, but didn't recklessly unsheath the sword, as the cry had been quite crisp and delicate, obviously that of a child. It would be terrible if he hurt a passerby on accident. The tall thicket rustled, and the signs of movement shifted further and further away. It appeared whoever had screamed was making an escape. Wei Wuxian and Lamonji had only pursued the rustling trail for a few steps when they heard a woman's joyful voice from the bottom of the hill. Mian Mian, are you all right? How could you run off at a place like this? You scared Mom half to death. Wei Wuxian was taken aback. Mian Mian? Oh, shit. Hell yeah. You know, the one other person that ends up having a happy ending was Mian Mian. Just as he was reflecting on the familiarity of that name, he was sure he'd heard it somewhere before. A man's scolding voice joined in. We told you not to run off during night hunts, but you still charged ahead on your own. What would your mom and I do if you got eaten by a ghost? Mian Mian, what's wrong? Why do you look like that? His next sentence must have been directed at the woman. Qingyang, quick, take a look. Is something wrong with Mian Mian? Why does she look like that? Does she see something she shouldn't have up there? Well, she certainly had, seen what she shouldn't have. Mian Mian saw Wang Xin about to... Oh my god. That's funny. That is hilarious. Lamonji shot a look at Wei Wuxian. Wei Wuxian returned an innocent look and mouthed, How sinful of us. He clearly felt not a single shred of guilt or contrition for having corrupted a child. Lamonji shook his head. The two left the gravesite together and made their way down the hill. The family of three were both shocked and alarmed as they watched the two of them emerge from the bush. The man and the woman were a married couple, both crouched on the ground. Between them stood a little girl. Her hair was coiffed in a double bun, and she appeared to be about 10 years of age. The woman was charmingly beautiful, and a sword hung from her waist. Hell yeah, cultivator Mian Mian! At the sight of Wei Wuxian, she immediately drew her weapon and pointed the blade at him. Who are you? She demanded. Whoever we may be, we're human, Wei Wuxian answered. The woman was about to say something else when she noticed Lan Wangji standing behind Wei Wuxian. She was instantly taken aback. Han Guanzhun? Surprisingly, Lan Wangji wasn't wearing his forehead ribbon, which meant she couldn't be certain it was him for a moment. Pfft, that's funny. She might have doubted it even longer had it not been for his unforgettable looks. When her gaze moved back to Wei Wuxian, her face went blank for a moment. Then you are... News of the Yiling Patriarch's return had already spread. Wei Wuxian wasn't surprised to be recognized. Of course the person at Lan Wangji's side must be him. He did notice she looked vaguely excited, and that she also seemed somewhat familiar. Could this lady know me? He wondered to himself. Is there some grudge between us? Did I ever provoke her in the past? That can't be. I don't know any girl named Qingyang. Mian Mian! It clicked in Wei Wuxian's mind. You're Mian Mian? The man glared. For what reason are you addressing my daughter? As it turned out, the little girl who had been running around and accidentally got an eyeful was Mian Mian's daughter, whose name was also Mian Mian. Wei Wuxian found this quite fun. One big Mian Mian, one little Mian Mian. Lan Wangji bowed his head in greeting towards the woman, Miss Luo. The woman tucked some stray strands of hair behind her ear. Oh my god! She couldn't resist and returned the courtesy. Han Guanzhun. She then turned her gaze to Wei Wuxian. Wei Gongzi. Wei Wuxian smiled at the woman. Miss Luo, I finally figured out your real name. Luo Qingyang gave a somewhat shy smile, seemingly embarrassed to recall the past. She pulled the man over and introduced him. This is my husband. Realizing the two weren't criminals, the man relaxed. Mr. Mian Mian, Mian Mian, and Baby Mian Mian. Is Wei Wuxian still tied up? Oh my god, is he? After exchanging some pleasantries, Wei Wuxian casually asked him, and to which clan or sect does the gentleman belong? None, the man answered very directly. Luo Qingyan gazed at her husband with a smile. My husband isn't a cultivator. He used to be a merchant, but he's willing to come on night hunts with me. An ordinary person, and a man at that, who was willing to give up his stable life to wander the world with his wife, unafraid of travel and danger. A heart like that was an extremely rare and valuable thing, and Wei Wuxian couldn't help but feel respect for the man. Have you also come here to night hunt? Wei Wuxian asked. Luo Qingyan nodded. Yes, I heard there is evil haunting the abandoned gravesite on the peak of this mountain, disturbing the locals' lives and causing them great misery, so I wanted to come see if there's anything I could do. The two of you have already cleaned up the place, I'm assuming? Stay-at-home husband. We love that. She was like, fuck your evil society. I've got my own way of living life. There was no need for others to interfere if Wei Wuxian and Wangji had taken care of the situation. However, Wei Wuxian said, those villagers lied to you. Luo Qingyan blinked. What do you mean? They told outsiders that evil forces were causing the random disturbances, but it was actually thanks to them robbing the graves and making a mess of the descendants' bones, Wei Wuxian said. That's why the masters of the abandoned gravesite fought back. Really? Luo Qingyan's husband asked doubtfully. But even if it was in retaliation for a crime, there was no need for them to take lives. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji exchanged a look before Wei Wuxian explained further. That was also a lie. Not a single life has been lost. As we found during our investigation, a few of the grave-robbing villagers had lost some sleep as they cowered in their beds of fear of the spirits, and there was only one actual injury, a villager who broke his leg while he was fleeing in panic. There were no casualties. Any lost lives were fabricated to sensationalize the problem. Is that true? How shameless, Luo Qingyan's husband exclaimed. Luo Qingyan sighed. Oh, those people. She shook her head like she had just remembered something from the past. They're the same everywhere. Society. I gave them a scare earlier, Wei Wuxian said. After tonight, they probably won't dare rob graves again, and the spirits won't go looking for any trouble without a provocation. Problem solved. But they had asked other cultivators to come and help them suppress... Luo Qingyan started. Wei Wuxian flashed a smile. I showed my face. Luo Qingyan understood. The Yiling Patriarch had shown his face, which meant the cultivators who'd seen him would surely tell everyone they could. They would assume he had claimed the area as his territory, and who would be audacious enough to provoke his ire? I see, Luo Qingyan laughed. And here I thought Mian Mian had a run-in with some sort of evil creature. She looked so scared. Please forgive us if she was rude in any way. No, we were probably the uncivil ones, Wei Wuxian thought. Sugar Kiss, thank you so much for donating 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Sugar Kiss. Oh my gosh, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Sugar Kiss says, I have to sleep early today, but today was spicy. It certainly was, wasn't it? Have a good sleep, Sugar Kiss. Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Wei Wuxian thought as he appeared perfectly serious on the outside. Please don't worry about it, and please forgive us as well for scaring Xiao Mian Mian. Luo Qingyan's husband picked up his daughter. Mian Mian sat on her father's arm and scowled at Wei Wuxian with her cheeks puffed out, indignant but too embarrassed to say anything. She wore a little light red skirt, and her dark purple eyes gleamed in her fair, adorable face like a pair of glistening grapes. Wei Wuxian really wanted to pinch her cheek. Alas, her father was watching him with great vigilance, so he tucked one hand behind his back and settled for squeezing one of her little hanging braids. Mian Mian looks so much like you when you were little, Miss Luo, he said with a merry grin. Lan Wangji cast him a glance, but said nothing. Amused, Luo Qingyan pursed her lips into a smile. Wei Gongzi, how can you say that with a clear conscience? Do you really remember what I looked like when I was young? That pursed lips smile seemed to overlap in his memory with the expression worn by the young lady of years gone by, dressed in a red gauze robe. Wei Wuxian didn't feel embarrassed in the least. Of course I remember. You haven't changed that much. Oh, how old is she? I'll give her some evil-repelling money. There's a note that says, when meeting someone of importance for the first time, it's a customary gift. When meeting children, the gift is usually something simple like petty cash. The word Wei Wuxian used is the archaic term, also known as red pockets. These are gifts that signify good fortune, which are given during Lunar New Year to subdue and repel evil. Luo Qingyan and her husband hastily declined. Oh no, it's okay. Wei Wuxian smiled. Oh yes, please. It's not my money anyways. Ha ha. The couple looked slightly confused, but before they understood what he meant, Lan Wangji had already handed something to Wei Wuxian. Wei Wuxian took the heavy coins and was adamant on giving them to Mian Mian as an offering of evil-repelling money. Seeing that they couldn't decline, Luo Qingyan said to her daughter, Mian Mian, thank Hang Guanzhen and Wei Gongzi. Thank you, Hang Guanzhen, Mian Mian said. Mian Mian, I'm the one who gave you the money. Why didn't you thank me? Wei Wuxian teased. Mian Mian shot him an angry glare and refused to talk to him no matter how he teased. Instead, she tugged on a red string around her neck, pulling out an exquisite little perfume sachet. Oh my god, not the perfume sachet. With careful concentration, she dropped the coins inside like they were treasure. They soon descended the mountain. With some regret, Wei Wuxian had no choice but to bid them farewell, and his and Lan Wangji's journey would take them down a different road. As they disappeared into the distance, Luo Qingyan admonished her daughter. Mian Mian, you were so rude. He saved Mom's life in the past. Her husband was astonished. Really? Mian Mian, you hear that? See how rude you were? Mian Mian pouted. I don't like him. Gosh, child, Luo Qingyan sighed. If you didn't like him, you would have thrown that evil-repelling money away. Mian Mian buried her little blushing face in her father's chest and humphed. He was doing a bad thing. Oh no, little Mian Mian is homophobic. Shout out to Mian Mian for giving Lan Wangji a bag that he used as a wallet for 13 years. Crimson Queen, thank you for gifting a membership. How are you doing, Crimson Queen? Caught between tears and laughter, Luo Qingyan was about to speak when her husband said with amazement, Qingyan, I've heard you mention Hang Guanzhen before. I remember him being a major figure in a prominent clan. Why did he show up on a tiny village like this to hunt such petty prey? Hang Guanzhen is different from other distinguished cultivators, Luo Qingyan patiently explained to her husband. He always appears when there is chaos. If anyone is being tormented by evil forces, he will come to their aid, no matter the level of the night hunt's prey or the accolades he receives. Her husband nodded. A cultivator truly worthy of renown, he continued nervously. Then what about Wei Gongzi? You said he saved your life, but how come I've never heard you mention him? When in the past was your life in danger? Luo Qingyan took Mian Mian into her arms. She smiled, an odd light shimmering in her eyes. Well... Oh my gosh, oh. It's like we just read that not too long ago. Oh. Okay, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages away from finishing the book. Should we keep going? Or should we end it there? Glad to hear you're good, Crimson Queen. Quinn just writes, read. Yes, 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 yes. Keep going. Yes, we're so close. Mary said, yeah, I can understand that. Please continue. Okay, okay. Back on the other road, Wei Wuxian said to Lan Wangji, to think a young lady from way back then has a daughter now who's also a young lady. Lan Wangji replied. But that's not fair, Wei Wuxian said. She should have clearly seen that it was you doing a bad thing to me. How come she can't stand the sight of me? Lan Wangji didn't respond. Wei Wuxian spun around to face Lan Wangji and started walking backwards. Oh, I get it, he said as he walked. Deep down, she actually likes me, just like a certain someone back then. Ah! Oh my god, Quinn! That's hilarious. Thank you so much for donating, Quinn. Oh my gosh. Okay. Lan Wangji brushed non-existent dust from his sleeves and said calmly, please return my forehead ribbon, Wei Yuandao. This is an allusion to the same historical poem from which Wei Wuxian originally derived Mian Mian's nickname, Mian Mian Se Yuandao. Okay, that's hilarious. Oh, being a little punny moment. A little punny moment for Lan Wangji, huh? I feel like puns are definitely on the LAN rule board. Thou shall not pun. But now look at him. He's untamed. Oh my gosh, Spazzy. Wei Wuxian paused when he heard that foreign name. It took a while for it to hit him, and then he clicked his tongue before beginning to snicker. I knew it. Oh, Lanar Gongsa. Jealous, are we? I love how he can go back in time and think of all these moments and know the truth now. Lan Wangji lowered his eyes. Wei Wuxian walked in front of him and blocked his path. With one arm circled around Lan Wangji's waist and one hand tilting his chin up, he said seriously, be honest. For how many years have you guzzled the vinegar of jealousy? You hid it so well, I didn't even smell the sourness. Did he hide it that well? Lan Wangji obediently raised his head as he'd always done, but suddenly felt an unruly hand slip into his breast pocket. He looked down, but Wei Wuxian had already pilfered what had been tucked inside. Wei Wuxian feigned surprise. What's this? It was Lan Wangji's money pouch. Wei Wuxian spun the exquisite little sachet by its tassels while pointing at him accusingly. Han Guanjun, oh, Han Guanjun, taking without asking is called stealing. And what did they call you back then? The descendant of a prestigious sect, the role model of the clan's juniors. Role model indeed. You were chugging vinegar in secret. You even stole the perfume sachet a young lady gave me to use as your own money pouch. No wonder I couldn't find it anywhere after I woke up. If this sachet wasn't exactly the same one as Xiao Mian Mian had, I wouldn't have even remembered. Look at you! Tisk, tisk. Tell me, how'd you swipe it off me when I was unconscious? How long did you feel me up? That's crazy! It's so funny, too, that Lan Wangji was so jealous of these moments that, like, meant nothing to Wei Wuxian because Wei Wuxian was not feeling that way towards Mian Mian at all. Like, he's just doing his own thing, and Lan Wangji's like, ah! Oh, man. That's hilarious. A ripple of emotion flashed over Lan Wangji's face. He reached out to snatch the pouch back, but Wei Wuxian swung it away and dodged his hand. He backed up a couple of steps. Trying to snatch it back since you can't win the argument? What are you so shy for? Why be embarrassed over this? Now I finally know why I can be this shameless. We're a match made in heaven. All the shame I should have is stored with you, and you're keeping it for me. That's funny. That's so funny, too. Light pink-colored Lan Wangji's earlobes, but his expression was still pulled tight. His hands moved quickly, but Wei Wuxian's feet were faster. Lan Wangji could see the pouch, but not catch it. You're the one who gave the money pouch to me in the past, so why are you trying to take it back now? Look at yourself, stealing things, engaging in fornication, and going back on your word to boot. You're bad to the bone. Lamonji tackled him, finally capturing him in his arms. We have done our 3 vows. We are married. It is not fornication, he countered. They're married, everyone! Ring the bell! Oh my god. Oh my god. Even as a married couple, you can't keep coming at me with such force, always making me beg, not even stopping when I do beg. Look how you've changed. The ancestors of the Land Clan of Gusu are gonna be vexed to death. Unable to endure this any longer, Lamonji brutally sealed his lips. The day after encountering Luo Qingyan and her family, the 2 of them reached a small town in Guangling. Wei Wuxian raised a hand to his brow and saw a tavern banner fluttering in the distance. Let's take a break up ahead, he said. Lamonji nodded, and the 2 walked there side by side. Since that night at the Guanyin Temple in Yunmeng, Wei Wuxian and Lamonji had traveled together, wandering all over with Little Apple in tow. They still appeared wherever there was chaos, whenever there was talk of hauntings and evil disrupting people's lives. They would go to lend a helping hand. They also sightsee while they were at it and learn about the local culture. They had spent 3 months this way, shutting out all news of the cultivation world and living a carefree life. After entering the tavern, they took a seat in the inconspicuous corner, and the waiter came over to greet them. He saw the sword at Lamonji's waist, then the flute at Wei Wuxian's. Because of their appearance and bearing, he couldn't help but connect them to the pair who had been the subject of all the most heated talk recently. But after staring at them intently for a while, he noticed that the customer dressed in white was not wearing the Land Clan's forehead ribbon. Ultimately, he was left unsure of their identities. That is so funny. Wei Wuxian asked for liquor while Lamonji ordered a few dishes. With one hand propping up his cheek, the other toying with a snow-white forehead ribbon under the table, Wei Wuxian listened to his deep voice as he read off the dishes. A wide grin was plastered on his face. Once the waiter was gone, he commented, "So many spicy dishes. Can you eat them?" Lamonji picked up the teacup on the table and took a sip. "Sip properly," he said evenly. "There's no tea in there," Wei Wuxian pointed out. Lamonji filled the cup, then raised it to his lips again. After a while, he repeated, "Sip properly." Oh my god, Lamonji is so embarrassing. The fact Wei Wuxian has his forehead ribbon and is playing with it under the table is like fucking crazy. Like, I'm sure Lamonji's so horny about this. It's crazy. Oh my god. He tried to sip his tea with no tea in it. He likes him so much. Oh my god. Sit properly. Am I not? It's not like I'm propping my feet up on the table like I used to, Wei Wuxian said. Lamonji could take it no longer. Lamonji could no longer bear it. Even so, do not put them elsewhere. Wei Wuxian was confused. Where did I put them? ... Lanar Gongsa has so many demands. Why don't you teach me how to sit properly? Lamonji put down the teacup and cast him a look. He was about to rise in a whirl of sleeves in order to teach him a very proper lesson indeed. But just then, a table at the center of the main hall burst into a chorus of roaring laughter. I just knew Jin Guangyao was going to fall sooner or later. Considering his way of doing things, someone at the table gloated. I've waited for this day for so long, and now it's all been exposed. That's what you call karma. Is this just like the beginning of the book when it's like, rejoice, Wei Wuxian's dead? Wei Wuxian found the man's jeering almost endearing. If you just changed the name of the one being insulted, it was incredibly familiar. Yes. He couldn't help but listen closely. One of the cultivators raised his chopsticks. It's true what they've all said through history. People like him, the brighter the look on the surface, the nastier they are behind the scenes. That's right, not a single one of them is genuinely good. Who among the venerable and the gentlemen aren't filth wearing a saintly skin for the world to see? Another cultivator was chewing large mouthfuls of meat and gulping down liquor. He spat it all everywhere as he spoke. Speaking of which, that Susu woman was super popular in the brothels back in the day. She looks so old now that I didn't even recognize her. Fucking revolting. The way Jing Guanshan died was pretty tragic too. Ha 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 ha. It's like, you guys are the scum. You guys are the scum, the gossipers. Amazing that Jing Guangyao came up with a method like that to kill his dad. How perfectly fitting. Impeccable. See, now I'm curious. Why didn't Jing Guangyao kill that old prostitute? Witnesses should be eliminated. Was he that stupid? How would you know if he was being stupid? He was Jing Guanshan's spawn. Maybe he was promiscuous too. Maybe he had unique tastes. Maybe he had a special relationship with Susu. Oh my god. Oh my society is the real antagonist. Ha, I agree. But don't the rumors say that Jing Guangyao was so frightened by his sinful fornication with his blood sister that he wound up with a certain unspeakable affliction? Even if he had the intent, he didn't have the power. Know what I'm saying? Ha ha ha. Oh my god! They had to say he was gay in the end! Oh my god. The unspeakable affliction. I like how the deepest burn is like, haha, actually, I think he's gay. Oh my god, oh my god. Well, at least the rumor was that he didn't know it was his sister. Oh wait, no, it wasn't that he was gay. It's that he can't get it up. Sorry, I misread that. Yes, ever since he'd like fornicated with his blood sister, that he wound up with a certain unspeakable affliction. Oh, they're like, ha ha ha, dick no work good, ha ha. This baseless gossip was extremely familiar. Wei Wuxian recalled there being countless people back in the day who talked about how he kidnapped 1,000 virgins and locked them away in his demonic lair, the burial mounds, committing licentious deeds day and night to cultivate some great and evil magic. It had been oddly hilarious to hear. Alright, he thought, at least what they said about me back then was a little better than what they're saying about Jing Guangyao now. The comments were growing increasingly revolting to hear, and Lan Wangji's brow furrowed. Thankfully, the more normal folks at the table couldn't take it anymore. Keep it down, one of the cultivators said in a hushed voice. It's not like any of that is pleasant to hear. But the cultivators who were laughing boisterously didn't care. What's there to be afraid of? No one here knows us. Yeah, besides, so what if anyone overhears? What are they going to do about it? You think the Jin clan of Lanling is what it used to be? Can they shut people up? If they've got what it takes, let them try to dominate everyone like they did in the past. If they don't like it, they can shove it. Someone finally derailed the subject. All right, why keep on this topic? Eat, eat. No matter how many waves Jing Guangyao made while alive, all he can do now is fight with Nimingjoy in that coffin. I gotta say, it sucks. When enemies meet, their hate blazes twice as hot. Nimingjoy has probably shattered his bones to pieces by now. He got that right. I went to the coffin sealing ceremony, and the resentment surrounding the casket was so heavy that not a single blade of grass grew within a 500-meter radius. I wonder if that coffin can really keep them sealed for a whole century. Oh my gosh. Wow. Whether it can has nothing to do with you. It's those clans' problems. Either way, the Jin clan of Lanling is over. The winds have changed completely, I say. Zewu Jun looked so upset at the coffin sealing ceremony. He's like, my sword brothers are in there. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I could see that being very upsetting. How could he not? Those are his two sworn brothers inside the coffin. The juniors back at his home are running around everywhere with a fierce corpse. They even actually need that fierce corpse to help them out during night hunts. No wonder he's been shutting himself away in seclusion all day. If Lan Wangji doesn't go home soon, Lan Qiren will probably start cursing in the streets for all to hear. Oh, he went into seclusion. That's sad. Lan Wangji's out banging Wei Wuxian. Lan Qiren's in a cave crying, and the juniors are having the time of their life with Wen Ning. Lan Wangji had no comment. Wei Wuxian snorted a laugh. The comments continued. Speaking of which, the ceremony was managed really well, eh? I've got new respect for Ni Huaisang. Oh, fuck. Ashley Addict, thank you so much for donating. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. That is really, really generous of you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Ashley says, I had no clue you were live since I was rewatching the QJJ4 video. I just finished reading it and have no clue what's going on. You and Stitch are the best. Aw, thank you so much. I hope Stitch could help explain QJJ a little bit for you, because it is confusing for sure. Oh, thank you so much, Ashley. And yeah, we're just about to finish Modazushi. We got 3 pages left. Thank you so, so much. Alright, so of course the crowd loves Ni Huaisang. Speaking of which, the ceremony was managed really well, eh? I've got new respect for Ni Huaisang. When he asked to be the one to take on the task, I thought he was going to mess up for sure, being the head shaker and all. Me too! Who would have thought he could direct it just as well as Lan Qiren? Listening to their surprise, Wei Wuxian thought, that's nothing. In the next few decades, the family head of the Ni clan of Qinghe may reveal his genius and have many more surprises in store for the world. The dishes were served, as was the liquor. Wei Wuxian poured himself a cup and drank it slowly. Suddenly, a young man's voice said, so, is the yin tiger tally inside the coffin or not? The tavern fell quiet. Shortly after, someone answered, who knows, maybe if Guangyao didn't have the yin tiger tally with him, where else would he have put it? But it's not a sure thing. Didn't they say the yin tiger tally is just a piece of scrap metal now? That it's useless at this point? The young man who spoke sat alone at the table, holding a sword in his arms. Is the coffin really sturdy enough? What if someone wants to see if the yin tiger tally is inside? What'll happen? Who would dare? Someone shouted immediately. The Ni clan of Qinghe, the Lan clan of Gusu, and the Zheng clan of Yunmeng have all sent people to guard the cemetery grounds. Who would be so audacious? The people voiced their agreement. The young man said no more, but picked up the bowl of tea on the table to take a sip instead, seeming to have given up on the argument. However, the look in his eyes did not change. Wei Wuxian had seen that look in many people's eyes, and he also knew it wouldn't be the last time he'd see it. After they left the tavern, they continued on their way. Wei Wuxian still rode on Little Apple's back, and Lan Wangji held the reins. Swaying leisurely back and forth on the little sprouted donkey, Wei Wuxian took out his flute and raised it to his lips. The instrument's crisp sounds shot into the sky like a bird taking flight. Lan Wangji stopped and listened quietly. It was the song he had once sung for Wei Wuxian, back when they were trapped inside the cave of the Xuanwu of Slaughter. It was also the one Wei Wuxian had been curiously compelled to play on Mount Dafan, the song that had allowed Lan Wangji to confirm his identity. At the end of the song, Wei Wuxian gave Lan Wangji a wink. How was it? Not bad, right? Lan Wangji slowly inclined his head. For once. Wow! Wei Wuxian, knowing that for once was directed at his memory, couldn't help but smile. Stop being so peeved about that. I was wrong, okay? Besides, it's my mom's fault that I have a bad memory. How so? Lan Wangji asked. Wei Wuxian rested his arms on Little Apple's head and spun Chen Qing in one hand. My mom once said, you have to remember the good things people have done for you, instead of remembering the bad. A person's heart shouldn't be burdened with so many memories. That's how you live freely. This advice was one of the few memories he had of his parents. Wei Wuxian's mind wandered for a moment, but he quickly pulled himself back down to earth. Seeing Lan Wangji staring at him, he continued, my mom also said... When he was slow to finish his thought, Lan Wangji prompted him. Said what? Wei Wuxian beckoned him close with a waggle of his finger, wearing a solemn expression. Lan Wangji moved closer. Wei Wuxian leaned down and whispered into his ear. Said, you're already mine. Lan Wangji quirked his eyebrows, but just as he was about to open his mouth to speak, Wei Wuxian cut in. Shameless, flippant, frivolous, arrogant, crazy, spewing nonsense again, right? There, I said it all for you. It's always the same words, over and over. You really haven't changed a bit. I'm yours too. So we're even now, all right? Wow. Lan Wangji would never win against Wei Wuxian when it came to running his mouth. Whatever you say, he replied calmly. Wei Wuxian tugged at the donkey's reins. Seriously though, I've come up with over 80 names now for that song. Is there not a single one you like? No, Lan Wangji said with conviction. Why? I thought Lan Zhan and Wei Ying's Ballad of Love was pretty good. Lan Wangji didn't respond. Wei Wuxian began to spew nonsense once more. Hang Guan Yiling Everyday Song is good too. It's a name that obviously has a story behind it. There already is, Lan Wangji finally said, as if not wanting to hear any more names. There's already what? Wei Wuxian asked. A name, Lan Wangji said. Wei Wuxian was astonished. You already named it? If you did, you should have said so sooner. What's it called? You wouldn't tell me all this time, and there I was spending all that time helping you come up with names. What a waste of my imagination and smarts. After a brief silence, Lan Wangji said, Wangxian. He said it! He said it! Oh my god. Finally. Huh? The name of the song is Wangxian, Lan Wangji repeated. Wei Wuxian's eyes widened. Then he burst out laughing, hugging his belly. Oh my god. No wonder you refused to tell me. It's because you sneakily titled it that. Your intentions were clear. Good going, Lan Zhan. When did you come up with that? Ha 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 ha. Lan Wangji seemed to have predicted this would be Wei Wuxian's reaction. He shook his head slightly as he watched him swaying forward and backward on Little Apple's back. He appeared resigned, but there was a subtle upward curve to his lips and an obscure look rippling in his eyes. He reached out and set a hand on Wei Wuxian's waist to prevent him from tumbling off the donkey's back. When he'd finally had his fill of laughter, Wei Wuxian said seriously, "Wang Xin is very good. Excellent. I like it. Yes, that's what it should be called." "I like it too," Lan Wangji replied stoically. "It sounds very elegant and righteous, very suited to the Lan clan of Gusu," Wei Wuxian said. "I think it can go straight into your family's score collection, and will demand every Lan disciple learn it. If they ask you, 'Hen Guanchun, how should the title be interpreted?' you can tell them how the song came to be." Seeing that he started spewing nonsense again, Lan Wangji gathered Little Apple's tether and carefully gripped the rope as they continued onward. Wei Wuxian continued to talk. "So where are we going next? I haven't had Emperor Smile in a long time. How about we go back to Gusu and make a trip to Sai Town?" "Okay," Lan Wangji replied. "It's been so long. The waterborne abyss must be cleaned out by now, right? If your uncle manages to work up the tolerance to meet me, we can hide my liquor jugs in your room. If he refuses to grant me an audience, we can go somewhere else. It sounds like Sizhui and the boys and Wen Ning are doing well on night hunts." Lan Wangji said. "But apparently there's a new edition of the Lan clan of Gusu's precepts. Seriously, is there even room left to write anything else on that wall of discipline near the front gates of your place?" A fresh breeze blew past, and their robes rippled with it like spring water. Facing the wind, Wei Wuxian watched Lan Wangji's back as they went. He squinted his eyes, crossed his legs, and was astonished to find he could actually maintain his balance on Little Apple's back in such a quaint position. It was such a boring minor thing, but he was as eager to share it with Lan Wangji as if he'd discovered something new and interesting. "Lan Zhan," he called, "look at me! Quick, look at me!" Wei Wuxian was calling to him with a smile on his lips, just as he always had. Lan Wangji looked at him, and forever after, his eyes could never move away from him again. The end. Oh my god. I have tears in my eyes. I really loved that. Oh my god. I really relate to like having this connection with someone like with me and Stitch. Just like it was such a boring minor thing, but he was eager to share it with Lan Wangji as if he'd discovered something new and interesting. Oh. It's so cute. I really love that. I love that ending. Oh my gosh. That was so good. That was really so good. Oh, I feel like right near the end it was not just juicy in like the sexual way, but just juicy in like the, oh my god, we're finally getting to see Wang Xin with their true dynamic, you know? Like with nothing held back and what they're like. Like I want to see so much more of that. Like I hope there are more extras of that. You know, it's just like we read through 5 big books with so much being hidden, you know? Oh, that's so cute. Because all Wei Wuxian wanted this whole time was Lan Wangji's attention, and now he has it. Yep. I almost thought it was gonna say that Lan Wangji was already looking at him, like he always had been. But Lan Wangji looking over at him when asked is just as good, you know. Oh, Crimson Queen, you're getting that last picture tattooed. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, of course, guys. We're going to definitely read the extras. We'll start tomorrow. I think I said we could stream tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, man. That was crazy. Oh. The ending is so good. It makes you forget about all the pain, you know. I really love you know, like a large theme of the book was about like revenge, and like I feel like there's kind of like revenge and society always wanting to find an enemy. And Wei Wuxian kind of, it's like it's reminded to you even more so in the end, where he brings up that his mom told him to just forget the bad memories. It's like don't seek revenge, just forget the bad memories. You can live freely if you only remember the good memories, you know? And does Wangxin mean forgetting envies? Like, is that the same thing too? It's just like forget all the bad things in the past. I really love that. And it gives you hope, you know? It's like, are they going to be traumatized from the war? It's like, no. Wei Wuxian's like, it's okay. I don't have room in my head for the bad memories. I love that. I really, really love that. Especially because Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji do have some upsetting stuff in the past together, and the fact that they're able to like look past that is really, really good. MXTX said that originally the concept of the book was about revenge. Yeah. Yeah. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Unless Han Guanzhun puts his headband around you, then you're also blind. Damn, that was so good. Just need to go lay down and think. Yaku says, please keep up this amazing work. You are one of the only people I can enjoy when it comes to my Danmei obsession. Oh, thank you. I'm glad we could share our Danmei obsession together. Yeah, up next, we're going to finish the extras, and then we are going to read Heaven Official's Blessing. That'll be crazy, huh? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, I have to go to hockey. I need, what should I think about? What will help me score tonight? I scored last time, so you guys gotta help me out. Maybe, Lan Wangji's endurance? Think about justice for Little Apple. Mian Mian, yeah. Aw, Emma, thank you for spam Jung Chung. He landed the kickflip once. That was last stream. That was a special Jung Chung kickflip stream, the last one. But now he's failing the kickflip again. Esper Lady says, think about Wangxin being happy together. Yes! Happy together forever. Oh, well, thank you guys so much for reading this whole book with me. And don't worry, we still have the extras. But we finished the main story together, and that is so special. So thank you for coming on this journey with me and laughing and crying, and yeah, we cried a lot more in this book, but it was just so special to read with you guys. So thank you so much. Remember to like the stream and subscribe for more. And tomorrow I think I will also stream around 4 or 5. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.